Kate was joined by her husband and their 3 children to host her together at Christmas carol service. It is the first time the Wales family have been seen together in public since their appearance at Trooping the Colour, the King's birthday parade, in June. An hour before the service began, the princess arrived alone to greet performers in the chapter house of the Abbey before walking around to greet other guests. When singer Paloma Faith expressed sympathy for the princess, who this year underwent chemotherapy, Kate, 42, replied, "I didn't know this time last year it was going to be the year I've just had." The princess, who married Prince William in 2011 and attended the late Queen's funeral in 2022 at the Abbey, said that the building held so many memories for her. While seeming to talk about the soloists from the Royal Ballet who performed during the service, Kate said that she had enlisted Prince Louis, 6, to keep it a surprise for her daughter Princess Charlotte, 9. Speaking to Paloma Faith, Kate said she asked Louis, "Can you keep a secret, otherwise it won't be a surprise for Charlotte, who loves her ballet dancing?" She said that Louis agreed. He has kept the secret for, nearly 2 weeks now. "Very challenging," said Faith. "For a 6-year-old, replied Kate. "And then this morning he said, 'Mummy, please can I tell her? I am bursting.' I did drop off and he really wanted to tell her. I think, hopefully, he's kept it." Charlotte later looked thrilled as she saw the ballet dancers, suggesting her younger brother had been good to his word. Prince Louis has long stole the nation's hearts with his adorable actions, and earlier this evening, he delivered a sweet handwritten note. "Thank you for Granny and Grandpa because they have played games with me," the special message read. It was intended to decorate a kindness tree, as guests had been invited to write the name of someone who had helped them this year on red card to decorate the tree. Dubbed relatable by the public, the prince's facial expressions and cheeky antics delight royal fans. Prince Louis stole the show at the Trooping the Colour celebrations in June 2022, where he pulled a series of hilarious faces, including covering his ears in front of the Queen when the sound of the roaring plane engines became too much during the fly past. A few days later at the Platinum pageant, he grabbed attention again by stirring up mischief, this time sticking his tongue out at his mother. He jumped on his seat, pulled his cousin's hair, stole his sister's sweets, made faces and even put his hand over Kate's mouth when she tried to clam him down. Eventually, the energetic young royal was sent to go and sit on Charles' lap, giving Kate a break. Elsewhere, big sister Charlotte kept her mischievous brother in check during the carriage ride at last year's Trooping the Colour. She smiled as he held his nose after catching a whiff of the horse manure and then pointed out something in the crowd. But, as we all know, it's the balcony where Louis comes into his own. He didn't disappoint during the flypast, becoming the star turn again as he saluted, pretended to fly the plane and jumped around. Elsewhere during tonight's concert, Kate walked to the north transept and knelt down to speak to scouts from 44th Barry, Robot, Scout Group from Barry, Manchester. Greeting various guests as she walked through the Abbey, she stopped at the nave to greet Chris Hoy and his family. The Olympic cycling champion who has terminal cancer told her he had never been to Westminster Abbey before. shaking hands with Hoy's young son Callum and daughter Chloe. Kate, who was dressed in a red coat with black bow by Sarah Burton coat for Alexander McQueen, commented on Chloe's sparkly dress, saying, "I was going to wear sparkles too." By the nave, Kate stopped to speak to 100-year-old D-Day veteran Bernard Morgan, who was attending the service as an ambassador for the Royal British Legion. Morgan said, "It was truly special to be part of the Princess of Wales together at Christmas carol service at Westminster Abbey. I am very grateful to be invited, and I was honoured to light a candle on behalf of all the amazing volunteers at the Royal British Legion who give up their time to support veterans like me. I am always keen for the younger generation to know exactly what went on during the war and to appreciate the sacrifice that our lads made so that we can enjoy the freedoms we have today. Being able to continue to tell my story at 100 is wonderful, and I am grateful to the Princess of Wales and the Royal British Legion for giving me the opportunity to do that. It was lovely to see Her Royal Highness looking so well. It was a delightful event at the Abbey and a night I will never forget." Olivia Dean, who was invited to perform the Christmas song, quote from her PR, said, "I am so excited to be performing at Her Royal Highness together at Christmas carol service at Westminster Abbey this year. It's such a treat for me to be able to sing with the RAF Brass Band, in such an iconic venue. I am sure it's going to be a really special evening, full of Christmas joy." Kate then walked back to the front of the Abbey to greet her husband and their children. "Hi," said William. The family then went to look at the kindness tree where guests had been invited to write the name of someone who had helped them this year on red card to decorate the tree. Prince Louis proudly clutched his tag with a carefully hand-written note adorably reading, "Thank you for Granny and Grandpa because they have played games with me." The Princess of Wales presided over her annual Christmas Carol concert this evening, with several members of the royal family rooting for Kate after what has been a tumultuous year for her. Senior members of the firm, led by the Prince of Wales, were also joined by the younger generation, including Kate and William's 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. William, 42, looked dapper as he walked into Westminster Abbey, accompanied by the 3 young royals. Both George, 11, and Louis, 4, wore matching suits with red ties, while their sister Charlotte, 9, wore a burgundy coat that closely resembled the Alexander McQueen outfit her mother wore.